Welcome to Muslim Apologetics Australia. In this video, we're going to demonstrate the hypocrisy of the West. Absolute hypocrisy. As you know, the North Korean president, he basically wants to do tests to grow economically and militarily and be a power to be able to defend itself. America, of course, doesn't like this. These same Americans and the Westerners actually say that they're going to do fire and fury like the world has never seen before. And they even say that this is God telling them to do this, according to Trump's right-hand man who inspired him to do this in the name of God, that God told him to go to war in this. Yet, these Westerners say Islam wants to take over the world and Islam uses its religion to dominate the rest of the world. I mean, look at the hypocrisy here. Absolute hypocrisy. And under our noses, folks, you see, the West has been dominating the world. It has more than 950 bases with its allies. And then they say Islam wants to take over the world. Look at this. The man, all he wants to do is be able to defend himself, North Korea. He wants military. I mean, Israel can defend itself. It can have nuclear weapons. It can defend itself against the Arabs. India can have nuclear weapons because it can defend itself against Pakistan. But North Korea can't have nuclear weapons or can't have missiles to defend itself against American aggression or whoever that may be. I mean, do you see the hypocrisy in this sentiment? Why can't America mind its own business? Why? Because I'll tell you why. Because it wants world domination. If America wants to go after someone, it will pretend it has the greatest weapons the world has never seen before. It will pretend they wish to strike America. It will pretend its leader is like Hitler. Using these three methods of lies, it will try to win public opinion with biased one-side media propaganda, then strike that nation from ever progressing militarily and economically. This is how America keeps everyone in check. America calls the North Korean president a cult leader and a man that wishes no peace. Yet all he wants to do is be able to test weapons to be able to defend itself. And this is the same America who invaded like 6 countries over the past 20 years, killing over 500,000 people. The West, in fact, says Islam wishes to take over the world, yet right under our noses, the West and its allies have taken over the world. The West can have as many nuclear weapons, do as many tests as it wishes, but everyone else needs Big Brother's permission to defend itself. And then they say West wants peace, not global domination. These same guys are even thinking about one day going to war with China. Why? Simply because the country has expanded both economically and militarily. And I can assure you that China is next after North Korea. See, this is the whole point. And remember how I said they do propaganda? Well, yes, they do. They've even put out propaganda. Remember I said they'll make the president look like Hitler. And this is what they did with Saddam Hussein. Don't forget. They said he gasses the Kurds, he killed the Kurds, he did this, he did that to his people. Yet I have heard even Christians say we would rather Saddam Hussein back because of the disaster and the destruction that the US has caused Iraq. Saddam was much better off. And so that what they did was they polluted Saddam. They made Saddam look like the Hitler and a cult leader. And that's exactly what they're doing with the North Korean president too. And they're already putting propaganda videos. And why do they do this? So they can win public support, because they know they don't have any excuse. North Korea hasn't struck them with military weapons and strike their nation. They haven't. They've literally wanted to do tests so they can have weapons to defend themselves if there's any outside aggression. And of course, America knows that they haven't won public opinion. America knows that, North Korea hasn't struck them yet, so why are we going there to attack them, right? And so They thought, look, what can we do now? What can we do? So now they brought out propaganda videos to demonize the man. Have a listen to this. This is mentioned on The Independent, and listen to the video.
I was born in 1993, and I was abducted at birth. When I was 9 years old, I saw my friend's mother publicly executed. Her crime, watching a Hollywood movie. My father died in China after we escaped North Korea. And I had to bury him at 3 a.m. in Secret. I was 14 years old. The day I escaped North Korea, I saw my mother raped. The rapist was a Chinese broker. He targeted me. I was 13 years old. My mother allowed...
By the way, at this stage, I don't really see any tears coming from her face. I mean, this could even be a paid actor. Who knows?
...allowed herself to be raped in order to protect me. We walked across the Gobi Desert, following a compass.
Yeah, you're helping Trump invade, of course, using this as a propaganda. Where are you from? South Korea? Are you from China? Who's paying you to do this?
And they start working. We follow the stars to freedom. Mongolia was our freedom moment. Death or dignity. Armed with knives, we were prepared to kill ourselves if we were going to be sent back to North Korea. North Korea is indescribable. No humans deserve to be oppressed just because of their birthplace.
So there you have it, folks. You can clearly see it's probably a paid actor. Or perhaps even if it is true, let's say if it is true, I mean, are we really thinking about doing a military strike against North Korea because of one individual that has been wronged? Are we really saying that? There are many countries that execute civilians and do certain things. Do we go and invade them? This is just a propaganda tool, folks. Okay, so one person comes out and says, I mean, shouldn't there be millions of people protesting in North Korea condemning Kim Jong-un? I mean, why don't we see that happen? To pick out one person to use it as a propaganda tool? Can you imagine? We're going to go and nuke and kill more than 500,000 people in that country because of one propaganda video. And this is what I mean, folks. This is what they do. They produce these propaganda videos in order to win public opinion. We haven't learned from Iraq. We haven't learned from the Middle East, of the wars that we have caused there because of geopolitical reason, because the West wants world domination in the region. They don't want anyone else to grow and prosper except the white race, the white Western patriotic colonialism. It existed in England through the colonialist wars that went to America, to Australia, and these guys have not stopped. They have not stopped, and they're continuing their propaganda and their lies for world destruction. They want to be the world powers. End of story. No one else can have as many military weapons as one. No, it is America, 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 Donald Trump. And that's what he wants to do. Because you know why? He couldn't test his nuclear weapons. He's got new nuclear weapons now. The old ones were tested on the poor Hiroshima, on the Japanese. These poor people had to see the test done upon them. Why? Because they wanted to scare the rest of the world. And now they need to upgrade the weapons. Of course, Americans could test a few weapons here and there, but they need an upgrade. They need a weapon upgrade, and they've got the upgrade. And now they want to test those upgrades. And who to test it on? Better else, the poor Asians again. So now they're going to test it on the poor Asians. Of course, they would have tested it on the Muslims in Saudi Arabia, in Iraq or Syria, but they can't do it there because they've got Israel that's close to that region, and they don't want to make it more of a havoc in that area. So what can we do? We'll test it on the poor Asians. And of course, that's what they want to do. So they can now again tell the world we have new weapons. And that's what Donald Trump said. He said, we're going to do weapons and we're going to do fire and fury like the world has never seen before. Why? Why haven't we seen it? Don't we know what nuclear weapons look like? Oh, we haven't seen what the new ones look like. Okay, so you want to use it as a test dummy, those poor Asian people, so you can show the world more destruction and more of your might and power. This is what it is all about. Don't get sucked in, folks. Do not get sucked in. That's all they want, world global domination. And these people have got the nerve to say Islam wants to take over the world. Oh, mate, you are a disgrace.